Turn on your microphone.
I thought I did. House Republicans have forced the government shutdown on the American people, and the testimony provided by some of the witnesses today highlights the local economic impact that this shutdown has on small towns and businesses that serve employees and visitors of our national parks. The National Park Service has estimated that the government shutdown will result in total economic losses of $76 million per day to local communities surrounding national parks. Director Jarvis, is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. Mayor Bryan, in your testimony, you stated that your town and the small businesses there estimate a loss of more than $1 million in revenue just during the first 7 days of the shutdown. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
In fact, one estimate found that Arizona will have the third largest economic impact of national park closures, amounting to almost $5 million a day. Marie Lopez Rogers, the current president of the National League of Cities, penned an op-ed titled, and I quote, "Federal Shutdown Has Dire Impact on Local Government," which described some of the practical impacts of the shutdown on residents and communities around the country. Ms. Lopez Rogers wrote, and I quote again, "The antics in Washington are threatening to unravel the progress our cities have made over the last few months and cause harm to the entire nation. It's a reckless approach to governing," end of quote. She went on to say, and I quote again, that every day the government is shut down is another day of economic uncertainty. We need to focus on what matters to our communities, our neighborhoods, and our residents. Director Jarvis, I've heard people indicate that somehow or another you did not provide the sensitivity that was necessary as you made some decisions. Do you contend and are you concerned that about the impact of shutdown on businesses and communities surrounding national parks?
Yes, sir, I'm very concerned about that. It was immediately upon the closure, we opened lines of communication with our concessioners in particular. These are the private sector businesses that operate food, beverage, and lodging within the parks, the National Hospitality Association. I even conducted a conference call with the CEOs and leaders of those organizations that first week to really begin to convey our concern, to talk about what we can do for them after the shutdown is over and what we can do in between. And as a result of those conversations, we really began on Wednesday of the first week, I contacted the people that were involved in 1995 in the agreement with the Grand Canyon to understand how that was negotiated. We even tracked down the former attorneys that negotiated that as well, so that we would have the information to build 20 years later, new rules and regulations and all of that, with a very small staff, how we could get these things back open so that, we could reduce the impact to the tourism industry, which we rely upon.
Thank you very much. I commend you for your 40 years of service to the Park Service, and I have no further questions, and I yield back.
Gentlemen,